Hi there, Wally here. Today we'll be working with Foreman. Yeah, that's right. Foreman is the upstream of Red Hat Satellite, and a few days ago I released a video about how to set up your development environment. So after that I received a flood of messages saying, hey, this is amazing, this is awesome, but I'm still in the beginning and I would like to learn how to use Foreman. So when checking the website, I can see different informations. I can see Foreman, I can see Katello. I tried some stuff, I got lost, and eventually I ended up like nowhere. So could you help me? And this was not only one or two or three, it was a bunch of messages like this. So today, the main idea of this video is to show you the different ways that we have to install. Like we can deploy only Foreman, or we can deploy Foreman and Katello together in a single shot. Maybe this is what is causing a little bit of confusion, but no problem at all. In this video, you see how to deploy your Foreman or Foreman/Katello, okay? Before we move it on, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you are not yet. Hit the bell, allow notification. Anytime that I release a new video, you will get notified. Take your preferred beverage, have a seat, and let's enjoy the video. All right, let's start in the upstream website. I will bump a little bit the font size. This seems to be a bit huge, but I believe to be good. All right, my recommendation. If you like to start this right now, definitely you can access Quick Start. And Quick Start is gonna guide you in the correct place. All right. You can also see here, hey, this Quick Start is from Foreman 3.11, but the latest version is 3.12. So definitely just pick 3.12 and then you can see all the information. Before we go on this path, let me show you this. Get help manual. And again, same idea, 3.12. In this page, definitely you can see a lot of information, valuable information. I totally recommend you to take a look on this document. There are some nice information. For instance, like the initial steps. If you take a look here, you can get like the steps, the package. You can just copy and paste. This is pretty simple, I have to say. One thing that I would like to get your attention here is about the system requirements. Definitely you can see the operating system that is supported, the minimal hardware, which is required, like 4 gigs and 2 gigs of disk, based on the configuration that you do have or that you want. Some compatibility, firewall configuration. All right, there are a bunch of things here, but let's go straight to the point. All right, get started, quick start. Let's pick 3.12. And from here, let's pick our version. In the previous video, I mentioned about Enterprise Linux. And by Enterprise Linux, we can see Alma Linux 8 or 9, CentOS Stream 8 or 9. And in this case, I have this machine, which is a CentOS Stream Release 9. Okay. So why do you have like multiple tabs? Those here are from this server, Foreman. If we take a look, the name is foreman.king.lab. And I put here aside another one, which is foreman.katello.king.lab. So both are very similar. Same operating system, they are updated. One thing though that I did here on both of them was disable the firewall D. But Wally, why don't you keep the firewall D on and allow the port? Let's keep it simple. I just disable. If you like to keep your enable and allow the ports, definitely you can. No big deal. But again, we will be covering a lot of steps here. And this is one variable that we can definitely remove from this equation. All right. So this is the CentOS Stream 9. Then over here, I can definitely pick my EL9. And then I can see some steps. Like this is gonna enable the repository, Puppet repository. This is gonna enable Foreman. This will download the installer. We execute the installer, and that's it. Easy, simple, like that. This is Foreman. If you like to deploy only Foreman, definitely you can follow those steps. However, take a look on this. If you want to manage contents, for example, RPMs, Kickstart 3, ISO and KVM image, OS3 content, and more with Foreman, please follow these documents or this link, Katello installation instruction. This is the document that you can follow and you can deploy your Foreman already with Katello. So let's take a look on that document. So we have here Katello. Katello's documentation for version 4 plus has moved to docs.theforeman.org. We can take a look. What is Katello? Local YAM, Debian, and Puppet repositories, snapshots. So there are a bunch of nice features definitely you can read here. But our main goal is repos. Like I would like to enable one repository, sync that content, and turn this available to my clients. Only with Foreman, I'm not able to do that. I need Katello, all right? So with that said, let me open this one. I'm gonna open in different tabs because then we can keep the track. Let me bump this one a little bit. Here we can see Foreman and Katello documentation. We have this for Foreman and Enterprise Linux, Foreman on Debian. The Foreman version that we will deploy is 3.12, as we saw here in this document, 3.12. And we would like to deploy the latest version of Katello, 4.14. So yes, I'm gonna pick this document. If you see there are old release over here, like those are links to the documentation. But again, let's pick the latest version because I would like to use the latest version of this document. So in this page, we can see quick start, installation, upgrading. For our scenario, I would like to deploy Katello, which is this one. So Katello on rel /CentOS quick start guide. So let's open this one. And here we can see the documentation, like this is for Enterprise Linux 9, which is our case. We have Enterprise Linux 8. So let's take a look what this is asking us to do. Clean the repositories, installing some packets, checking if the repository is enabled. Enterprise Linux 8, we will skip this one. It is not our case. This is asking for us to upgrade the system. In my case, I upgraded already both machines. So probably some few packets that will be necessary to update eventually. We need to install the Foreman installer Katello. And finally, we can execute this command, Foreman installer -- scenario Katello. Okay, Wally, do I have to do both? No. So let's return to this guide. If you like to deploy only Foreman, you can skip this one and you can just execute the steps below. That's it. Pretty simple. In this case, there is no repositories. No repositories management like RPM, Kickstart, ISO, KVM, image, OS3. If you're looking for Foreman to manage anything else except this one, like this is the way. If you are looking for to deploy a Foreman with Katello because you like to keep your RPM, Kickstart, and ISO and all this amazing stuff, then you need to click on this link. You will skip the steps below and you basically will end up on this document. Today, we are going to do both, and then you can see the final state of each of them. So let's start by this. Again, copy. As you know, I like to keep some commands here running. Like I have my top is running. We can see the CPU, we can see the usage, and we can see what is happening under the hood. So this command is gonna install this package. Puppet 7 release EL9. We can see DNF-Y. So this is gonna straight the installation. Then this one is gonna install the Foreman release RPM. So this is the Foreman package. So just paste. Let me clean up the screen. And again, we got those packets already installed. Next one, let's download the Foreman installer. So let me clean up the screen, paste again, DNF-Y install Foreman-installer. So this is gonna download some packets, Foreman installer plus dependencies. And here we are. And finally, Foreman installer. So I can just paste Foreman installer. You can see that I'm running with sudo. If you like to install using some user, you can. But if you are just using the root account, that's it. You can just copy and no difference at all, or you can remove the sudo command. This is okay. So at the bottom right now, we can see some commands like installing some package, doing some additional stuff. At the end of this process, what will happen is Foreman will get up and running, installed with no issues at all. So let's wait for this to finish and I'll be back with you soon. And we are back. So check this out. After executing Foreman installer, like we didn't pass any parameter, there are a bunch of flags that you can pass. But again, just to keep it simple, like we did as the documentation, the official in the website. By default, this is gonna set the administrative user as admin. This is the standard user, and you create a random password. All right. So our path is this one. So I can definitely copy this. Let me open a new tab, paste, and then my system is resolving this name. So you can add in your DNS, etc hosts. Let's accept the certificate because this is a self-signed certificate. Admin, and I can copy and paste this password. And okay, right now we have Foreman. So Foreman is up and running. Hey Wally, can I change the password because that password is terrible? I have no idea. I will forget. Definitely, we can click on my account. You need to set your current password and you can set the new password. So let me change this to change me. And I'm gonna give you a bonus. All right, I changed my password over here. This is amazing. And in case I would like to use Hammer for any reason, probably Hammer is gonna fail. And Wally, why is that? There is this folder, Hammer, CLI, and then there is this file, foreman.yaml. And in this case, we have that standard password. So change me. Okay, this password will not be updated when you update in the webUI. So if you like to keep your Hammer working properly, definitely go on and update this file. All right. By the way, I'm using here a minimal installation. CentOS 3.9 minimal installation. All right, we have here the Foreman up and running. And as we can see, there is no content. Like I can see hosts, all hosts. That's it. I can see configure, host group, puppet, infrastructure, and administer. So if you ask me, okay, can I add a repository right here? No, you cannot. There are different features that you can use with Foreman, but specifically about content management, RPM repositories, not at all. It is not here. All right, can I do some change? Okay, let's come back to the initial documentation. This one. If you would like to deploy Foreman, you can go on this path. However, if you would like to manage content, let's go to this documentation. We opened already this link, which directed us to this one. Then we opened docs.theforeman.org, redirected us to this link. We got the current version of Foreman and Katello. So if in the time that you are watching this video, the Foreman is different, 3.13, 3.14, 3.15, feel free to pick the latest version of Foreman and Katello. Open this document. We ended up here, and then the one that I selected was this one, Katello on Rail or CentOS Quick Start Guide. And then we have some steps. All right, pretty good. So with that said, I'm gonna keep this one here because this is our Foreman. And let's go to this one. So let me put top dash d1 dash c. Then we can see also what's going on. And from here, just copy and paste. Simple, easy. Once this is a Enterprise Linux 9, I'm gonna do the same steps in this specific point. So DNF clean all to clean up everything. Foreman. So this is gonna install Foreman release 312 on this machine. Again, just to reinforce, this is a different server, okay? Fresh install, nothing here. As the one before, like I have my firewall D disabled, and that's it. Basically, that's it. So let's install this package. One additional thing here, though, etc hosts. I just added those entries to the IP address. And why is that? If you have your DNS resolving the name properly, that's okay. You don't need to do that. If you do not have DNS resolving this machine, then just add the entry on your etc host files. This should be enough to move it on. Let's install this package. The package responsible for configure the repositories, Katello repositories. And we can see the version 4.14, yes, pretty cool. Let's install Puppet 7, the release EL9. We have this verification just to double check what is enabled. And I'm sorry, I didn't clean up the screen here once I was deploying the commands. DNF repo list enable. So we can see that we have upstream, base OS, Candlepin, Extra, Foreman, 312, Foreman plugins, Katello, and Pope Core and Puppet 7. Pretty good. Hey Wally, should I do this? EL8? Nope, this is EL9, so we can just skip EL8. Let's scroll down. Installing Foreman server package. So DNF upgrade. As I mentioned before, those machines I did upgrade before I started installation. If you just deploy your CentOS stream and you have some package to upgrade, then definitely this is gonna update all of them. Just keep in mind, if you are updating your kernel or something that requires a reboot, then after installing those packages, restart your machine in order to proceed, all right? In this case, I have only 2 packages, so no big deal. I can just install and move it on. Pretty good. So now DNF install Foreman installer Katello or Foreman-installer-Katello. Foreman installer Katello, this is the package and all the rest are dependencies. Then yes, and let's move it on. All right, those packets got installed. Let's clean up the screen. And the next step is execute Foreman installer -- scenario Katello. Then we can paste and we can execute it. We can see here that the sudo Foreman installer was executed. We didn't pass any flag, but we can do a double check using this command. Foreman installer -- list scenarios. So basically this is gonna tell us which scenario was installed and we can see Foreman, all right? In this case, we are passing the scenario, we are specifying the scenario and the scenario is Katello. Because of that, on this kind of installation, we will be able to have some additional features, including Katello, that will allow us to manage repositories, RPM, ISO, this kind of stuff. So let's wait for this to finish and we'll be back in a few. All right, and back we are, and let's take a look on this. So this was a little bit different. We can see the Foreman installer -- scenario Katello. We can see all the steps. At the bottom, we can see some upgrade. This is some Katello stuff. And boom. Once you got a message like this, again, that means that once you see like the success specifically, that means that your installer executed successfully and that you should be good to go. So let me copy this one. Let me open a new tab, paste. Again, this is a self-signed certificate. The browser doesn't know. It is asking, hey, would you like to trust? Move it on? Yes. we can type the username. We can see the version 3.12.0 over here, same as this one, like the Foreman version is the same. The password, again, this is a random password. If you like to change, definitely you can. And now we can see that we have Foreman plus Katello. Let me bump the font size here. Okay, 150. Let me log in back on this. And then we can compare. Or let me do something like this. I believe will be better. Pretty cool. So basically here we have monitor, hosts, we have hosts over there, configure over there, infrastructure over there, administer over there. But at this moment we have this content. So anything underneath content was added because of Katello. So all the features that we have here was added because we installed the Katello plugin. We did these additional steps. All right, let me put this back and let's give it a shot. Like, I would like to synchronize real quick just to show you if this is indeed working. So let's check the product. There is no product. Let's create one pretty quick, pretty fast. Let's create Zabbix. Zabbix, it is a monitoring tool, and there is the repository. So we can open google.com, Zabbix repo. Like we can pick Zabbix, latest version, CentOS 9.64. Okay, this is the path for this repository. Let's suppose that I would like to synchronize this with my Foreman. I can click on new repository, Zabbix latest. So the type will be em. There is the URL, stream or upstream URL. I can just paste over there. I can keep all the configuration, save. Let me reduce this menu. We have the repository, 0 package. Let me click over here and sync now. And let's see if the Foreman will be able to sync it. Like there is 1 task, 0 success, 0 fail at this moment. And here we are. Like I can see 1 task, 1 success, everything was synced. So we can definitely click on Zabbix, repositories, and voila, 130 packets. If I would like to see those packets, we can see the version, everything that was downloaded, and basically that's it. Now, if I would like to move it on, create a content view, add this repository, definitely we can. Let's do this real quick. Content view, create a content view test, create content view. Let's show the repositories. Voila, Zabbix test, 130 RPM packets. And again, all these features that you can see here about content views, this is possible because we enable Katello. Without Katello, there is no such feature on Foreman, all right? So when we add the repository, publish a new version, next, finish, everything here is Katello handling this kind of requests. So we can close. Let's take a look on the version. It is almost done. Here we are, version 1, 130 packets. Beauty, huh? Check this out, all the packets. Hey Wally, can I create one activation key to register this machine? Definitely you can. Okay, the lifecycle environment will be library, the for organization view, or the content view that we just created. Save, and voila. Now, if I would like to register this machine, I can click on hosts, register hosts. This is the global registration, and voila, we have the activation key. Advanced, we have all the parameters. Let me just pick some of them, generate, and here we are. So with this command, you can just copy and paste in your client, and your client will end up registered on this Foreman as well. So as you can see, there are two ways to install Foreman. The first one was just Foreman, like this one, with no content management. You can do a lot of things. Again, feel free to return to this page over here. I believe I closed it. This one, get help, manual, and you can see all the features. Another one is installing Foreman or deploying Foreman with Katello, which will include all the feature inside of this area, like content management. And this is pretty powerful, pretty amazing, all right? Let me give you one more bonus because, you know, I love bonus. So in general, we use hammer ping to check if the system is okay, if some features are up and running properly. This is pretty good. And we can see here hammer ping. So we have all of them. Another one is Foreman maintain service status -b. And you can see that on Foreman with Katello, I have both. I have hammer, and then hammer will allow me to execute hammer ping. And I also do have Foreman maintain, the package Foreman maintain, which allows me to run service status -b, and I can see everything here. If I return to the first one, Foreman, let me bump the size here, hammer ping. I can see the hammer ping output as well. It's smaller, but that's okay. And if I try Foreman maintain service status -b, Foreman maintain is not installed. So when you install Foreman, Foreman definitely will install like a less number of packets and eventually say, man, but in my Foreman with Katello I have this and I don't have that in Foreman, or I have this command on my satellite and now I'm starting to play with Foreman and I cannot find this one. Fear not. DNF search maintain. So let's search on the metadata by maintain, and you can see this guy over here, RubyGem Foreman maintain. So if you do DNF install that package, let me clean up the screen. This is going to install this package, and at the end of the day, I wish and hope that you will be able to execute Foreman maintain service status -b, which is pretty cool, pretty interesting, and pretty helpful. That will show you some services that are related to Foreman, and you can see the status of each of them. All right, amazing. So today we were able to see how to deploy Foreman and how to deploy Foreman with Katello. Again, in my personal opinion, Foreman with Katello, it's like a very strong, powerful product that you can definitely go on. If you like to start easy and see, okay, let me see all the features that are available in Foreman. And after that, as the next step, I can go with Foreman plus Katello. Definitely you can go this path. But again, feel free to go to the community, go to the upstream, take a look in the documentation, take a look on the manual, see all the plugins that you can install in your Foreman or in your server that will enrich the number of features that you can have in your Foreman. And again, this is an amazing project. I really hope that you enjoy it and feel free to join the community as soon as possible. So if you have any additional question, let me know in the comments. I will be more than glad to help. Also, feel free to join our Discord channel. Over there, we can discuss about satellite, about Foreman, any other topic that you like to. And that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.